The Great Mountain Rescue. Part 1. The Mountain Challenge. The sun was bright when Rio, Luna, and Leo started their hike at the base of Eagle Mountain. The air was fresh, and the birds were singing. "This is going to be our best camping trip ever," Leo said, carrying his heavy backpack. They reached the middle of the mountain by lunchtime. They ate their sandwiches and looked at the valley below. They felt strong and happy. But as they climbed higher, the wind started to blow harder. The sky changed from blue to a dark, angry gray. Part 2. The Sudden Blizzard. Within minutes, the temperature dropped. Large snowflakes started to fall, hiding the path. "We need to turn back," Rio shouted over the wind. They tried to walk back down, but the snow was deep, and they could not see the trail. The wind was so strong that it pushed them backward. They were not just cold, they were in real danger. "Stay together," Luna screamed, holding Leo's hand tightly. "Do not let go." Part 3. Seeking Safety. They walked for an hour, exhausted and freezing. Finally, Leo spotted a dark shadow in the rocks. "Look, a cave!" It was a small, narrow opening in the side of the mountain. They crawled inside, shaking from the cold. The wind roared outside like a wild animal, but inside the cave, it was quiet. Rio checked his backpack. "I have my flashlight, a bottle of water, and a first aid kit," he said. Luna checked her bag. "I have 2 chocolate bars and an extra sweater." Leo looked in his bag and smiled. "I have a thermal blanket. We can use it to cover all of us." Part 4. The Long Wait. Hours passed. The cold was biting, and it was getting dark. They felt scared, but they knew they had to be brave. "We need to stay awake," Luna said. "If we fall asleep, we might get too cold." They started talking about their favorite memories. They talked about school, their families, and their plans for the summer. It kept their minds active and helped them feel less afraid. Then, Rio had an idea. "Let's use the flashlight to send an SOS signal. Maybe someone is looking for us." He clicked the light. Short, 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 long, 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 short, short, short. They repeated this rhythm for a long time. Their fingers were tired, but they did not stop. Part 5. The Heroes Arrive. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, they heard a sound. It was not the wind. It was a faint, high-pitched barking sound. "Did you hear that?" Leo asked, jumping up. They looked out into the storm. Through the falling snow, they saw a bright light moving toward them. It was a search and rescue team. A large, strong dog was leading the way, and a guide followed closely behind. "Are you there?" the guide shouted. "Yes, we are here!" Rio, Luna, and Leo yelled back. Part 6. Heading home. The rescue team wrapped them in warm, heavy blankets and gave them hot tea. "You did the right thing by staying in the cave," the guide told them. "You were very smart to keep moving and signaling." They traveled down the mountain on a snowmobile. As they reached the base, the storm finally began to clear. Their teachers ran to them, crying with relief. They were exhausted, but they were safe. That night, back at the campfire, they sat together under the stars. They were tired, but they were different people now. They knew that they could handle big challenges. "We learned a lot today," Rio whispered. "We learned that we can trust each other," Luna added. "And we learned that even in the toughest storm, we are stronger than we think," Leo finished.